this video, we look at what are the various triggers available for a job and how to configure the same for a job. So we left the previous video with configuring the source code to connect to our Git repository and provide the credentials. So as we go down, here is where your build triggers are there. Now there are various, as I said, there are various ways of triggering. Now the first option is to trigger the build remotely. So let's say whenever you have this, you basically for a job or for the pipeline, you get a unique URL which can then be triggered using the third-party system by basically like an API call. And as long as we pass the right parameters, it would initiate a new execution of the job. So this is generally useful when we have other systems like Jira or Azure DevOps, and if you want to trigger the pipeline from there to here, you will use the script-based or the URL-based trigger. And the next option we have is build from another project. So this is basically to, if you have another pipeline which you want to run, and as part of that pipeline, if another job is successful, that should trigger this particular job. Then you basically link it to that particular project. And periodically it uses basically a cron job and cron syntax, something like star where it starts with days and hours and minutes, seconds. So this indicates, if you see here, this indicates a complete. It automatically executes every 1 minute. Every minute there's a new trigger build, and if I make it as an hedge, it would basically run every 1 hour. Every 1 hour it would try. So the complete syntax of this schedule can be found as part of the help here, and you can look into the links section to get links of how to understand and how to configure for various schedules. And so that's one option. Next is GitHub hook trigger. So this is if you have GitHub and Git repositories and you have webhooks enabled. So this would basically ensure the webhook would trigger, connect to Jenkins and initiate a trigger. This is useful when you want to, in GitHub, whenever there's a commit, you have webhooks which will initiate the trigger. The last one you have is a poll ACM, which is basically polling, again using the cron syntax. So here I'm basically saying again every minute it would check for latest commits in the Git repository which is linked above, and it would, if there's any new commit found, it would go ahead and trigger the build. Again, since we have removed the branch filter, if there's any commits to if there are commits to any of the branches in the Git repository, it would trigger. It would trigger the build and take care of building the code.